Yeah. Juan next to Don.
Set my steez. Know what's going on?
Goddamn, back at it again. Season 2023, man.
Round 3 for STEEZ TheDon AFL, if you will.
Hell yeah. Before we get into the video, man, we do got a tip and comp going on. If you want to join, links is going to be in the description somewhere. But other than that, man, Footy's back.
It's good to be back, man. Been waiting for it, bro. Basketball wasn't getting it done.
Been a long off season, and I guess we gotta start off the same way, man.
Season predictions.
Season predictions. Damn, this was our first video. But now we're back, 3 years in. What? You got any major things you're expecting this year? Did I talk about that? Just the way the random ass question.
I always got expectation for my boys though. Like Carlton, like I think nobody would disagree that Carlton had a very disappointing season last season. And so I'm expecting them to make the 8, bro. We didn't last year, fell short. Finished 9th, bro, with the last game of the season. And had the lead and really just watched the whole season unfold right there, bro. Finished the season off with a 4-game losing streak like everybody knows. And, bro, it's just has to, bro. We have to make the finals, bro.
Yeah, hold on. You talked about your team. I guess I'll talk about mine, man. We had an even more disappointing year. From the beginning, bro. It never looked good. So this year, there's no way we can't do better. I might not be expecting the 8 because we got a lot of young talent, a lot of people that need to learn. Just a lot of young, inexperienced players at the AFL level. And so it's going to be a few learning years for us, but I think we stepping in the right direction. I think we made some smart draft picks, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited to see what we're going to do this year.
That's fair.
So, getting into our predictions, man. Yeah, so how we're going to do this, we're going to do the bottom 2 teams, who's fighting for wooden spoon. We'll do 16 through 13. We'll do 12 through 9, 8 through 5, and 4 through 1 to just break it down. So, who's your wooden spoon contenders, man?
All right. My bottom 2, I have St. Kilda and North Melbourne, both at 17 and 18. Surprisingly, because I thought another team that we'll get into as we keep going up the list would take the wooden spoon, so I guess maybe I give them a little bit more faith. But yeah, I have North winning 2 games, losing 20. I have St. Kilda winning 3 and losing 19. I don't know. Clarko, I can't even really justify Clarko even saying that he'll make a difference because it doesn't show in my standings or my rankings. I don't know, bro. I see other teams just more promising than North. North hasn't really shown me that they have a direction that they want to really take, or a forward direction that they want to take, if you will, because they seemed to regress last year than they did the first year. And Clarko, they're just going to have to show me something, bro, before I really give them any respect. And St. Kilda, man, I just don't really have much faith in them, bro. I don't think they have enough star power, talent. Like, there's teams across the league that have talent and still can't get the job done. But I don't think they really even have that much top-heavy talent. I think they need to be better in that department. They're a very inconsistent team, even with what they have, bro. And I'm just not really backing them to do too much, bro. I like the direction other teams are going in. Not much faith there.
So my wooden spoon contenders are also North and Saints. With North, North, they've been wooden spoon ever since I started watching footy, and I'm really not expecting that to change, especially since they just lost Jason Horn-Francis. Not saying he was a big impact for them, but
they didn't even have him win 1 game.
Hell no. They probably won't win 1, but I don't know. But yeah, since they lost Jason Horn-Francis, which was their number 1 pick last year, they didn't get any value out of him, and he's already gone. So I feel like if you reach for a number 1 pick and he leaves, you're gonna be shit again. Other than that, I do think Clarko's going to make some type of difference, but I don't think he's going to be an immediate difference. I think they got to learn to play together and learn how to get organized. I don't think him just walking in is just going to make the biggest difference. For the Saints, the Saints just kept on losing when I was doing my ladder. They just kept on losing, bro.
They kept losing.
And I feel like for the Saints to be good, we're gonna have to. Max is gonna have to turn up. I like fucking Crouch. They need a lot to go right. They definitely have potential to win, but there's just apparently 16 other teams that will whoop their ass on a regular basis. So that's my Witherspoon contenders. All right, you're 16 through 13.
16 through 13. All right, starting from the bottom. Now we here, if you will. So, nah, take that out, bro.
I'm like Drake.
16, I got Essendon, the Bombers. If you would have asked me 2 weeks ago, I would have thought Essendon would be wooden spoon winners. But apparently they just won a little bit more than I thought they would. I think they can have the tendency to take a game that they shouldn't take away. After all, they played finals 2 years ago. So they're not too far removed from seeing some type of success, but last year was just awful for them. I have been winning 4 games and losing 18. I think they'll lose the majority of the games, obviously. I don't think they improved really too much. I think if they're going to be any better, I think they'll have to have a lot of players that they already had there and have them and mold them to be a lot better, move up a level of talent, if you will, to ascend. But I don't see that happening. A lot of their players are really inconsistent. The young players like Nick Cox, 1 year he's good, 1 year he's not. Archie Perkins. You're relying on a lot of the young talent, and as we all know, sometimes you can't rely on that and see immediate results. So I don't think they'll be too good. At 15, I have Gold Coast. I'm iffy on Gold Coast, but I can see them definitely even like 4 spots higher than they are. But they do rely on Tuke Miller a lot. There's certain players that they rely on. I don't think they have too much that they can rely on. But sometimes they do work hard, especially in the beginning of the season, but they do fall off towards the end and towards the middle. I have them winning 8 games and losing 14, so they'll be okay. They'll be decent, but not the best at all. Not even contending for finals. 14, I have West Coast. I think West Coast will rise up, bro. Last year was really crazy as fuck for them. They went through a real crazy situation that you can say other teams kind of experienced, but not to the same extent that West Coast did. They definitely had the shittiest end of the stick when it came to COVID and injuries, and especially in the beginning of the season, which you don't want to get off to a slow start because it's easy to just roll with negative momentum. And I think they got a habit of that. Oscar Allen, their lead forward, one of the best forwards, a young forward that they're relying on for the future, he got hurt and didn't really play the season at all. So I think with him there and having them, and just I think this team it should have West Coast should have a chip on their shoulder. They're premiership players, bro. They have a bunch of them on the team, and I don't think they should stand for what happened last season, bro. I think they should be able to bounce back. They have the talent for it. I think they just have to get their shit going, bro. They can't have another slow start to the season. So I have them winning 9 games and losing 13. And at 13, I have Hawthorne, and I think a little bit to the same tune that West Coast had. They had more injuries than they did COVID restrictions or whatever, but off halfback, I think they were really hurt. And I think with CJ healthy and Will Day healthy and Jarman Impey healthy, they can definitely show the speed that they have and be a real dangerous counter-attacking team. So I'll take them at the 13th spot with 10 wins and 12 losses. And I was real iffy on them too. I didn't know where to place Hawthorne. I think they can fall a lot further than they are, where I have them. But I think they have the potential to win games, and I'm going to go out on the limb and say they'll win.
All right. Starting at 16 for me, I got the Adelaide Crows. And I was actually surprised they ended up so low for me because I do like a lot of their young talent. I like their style of play. They're one of those teams that's fun to watch, but they don't necessarily close games out. So they ended up there. For 15, I got Essendon Bombers. I thought they were going to be below them niggas for me. But, yeah, Essendon at 15, they're all right, I guess. I like that Tip is back, but all these teams aren't that good, bro. I really don't got too much to say about these guys, man. Essendon, if y'all make the finals, I'll be thoroughly fucking surprised. I'll say that, bro.
Yeah, me too.
14, I got Hawthorne. And these boys been struggling. They going through some coaching changes, and I just don't think they're ready to make that leap to be real competitive. They got a few more years. Like you were saying, they do got a lot of players. Well, they were hurt a lot last year. So seeing them healthy might give them a little bit of a boost, but I still don't think they're any type of contenders.
They did lose 2 pieces too. Matter of fact, Tom Mitchell and Jaeger O'Mara too. That's important.
Facts. Then at 13, you got West Coast all day, every day, if you ain't know. But yeah, man, we're coming off a horrible season last year. Last year we was contending for that wooden spoon. I do got us bouncing back up to 13 with less injuries, less COVID bullshit. Hopefully a more consistent roster, because last year we were going through almost 15 to 18 changes every week for the first few weeks. So hopefully we get a lot more consistency. But this is really just a learning year for a lot of our young players that we just drafted. Our midfielders, you basically brand new. We still have the veteran experience to, hold their hand a little bit, but we just need to learn. I do think we're going to be competitive. We do got some old talent that's still there, that's still contending, and wants to contend and should be able to contend. We just have to have the young players keep up. So we're at 13, and back to you, Bob.
Well, appreciate that, man. All right. So what are we doing?
12 through 8.
12 through 8.
I mean 9.
12 through 9. All right. So the next 4 at 12, I have the Adelaide Crows. I like the addition of Adelaide. The addition Adelaide made with adding Isaac Rankin. I think he could be able to make a big difference if he fills out the potential that he can bring to that team. Especially like if Riley Thilthorpe makes a jump. I think the midfield has a lot of potential. I do like some of the players in the midfield that they have. Sam Barry, the tackler, the tackle machine, and Ben Keys and Rory Laird and all that. So they got talent there, man. And like you said, they do play a good style, entertaining style. It's just up to whether they can keep a consistent effort going, man. They can be a team that's tough to win against, and they just got to bring it every week. But I have them winning 10 games, losing 12, so really tied. Them and Hawthorne tied at 10 and 12. And I have at 11 GWS. GWS is one of them teams I was very disappointed with, considering where they finished last year and how much talent they have. And I just don't think that they. And granted, they did have to go through a lot with the coaching change that they had last year, but they just have too much talent to perform the way that they did. And I wouldn't be surprised if I see them make a jump. I have them finishing with 11 games win, 11 games lost, and also actually I have them tied with Collingwood at 10. So Collingwood's one of the teams that falls out of the 8. They say on average 3 teams fall out and 3 teams climb. Collingwood is the first one to fall out, and they finished 11-11. They got by the skin of their ass a lot last year, bro. A lot of the major categories they lost, and granted that props to them for being able to close out those games and win those tough fought battles. But at the end of the day, you got to correct all that, bro. If you want to be a team that can be consistently in the 8 year in, year out, and be a contender year in, year out. So I don't know. I don't think they made too many great additions to warrant them staying and holding their spot. I think eventually the way that they played, just like last year, if they didn't fix it up, it will catch them, and I think it will catch them this year. And Frio at 9, 12 and 10, another team that falls out of the 8. I think Frio, I wouldn't be mad, and I wouldn't be mad if I seen them that they did make the 8. But they did have some losses, and we'll see how they can cover those losses. And with us taking one of those players, Blake Acres, I'm pretty happy with that. But they do still have Brayshaw. They still have a good, strong midfield and and Sean Darcy. That I think can still have them going good, but at the end of the day, I don't know how the Nat Fife experiment will be up forward. He might be great, he might not be, he might be underwhelming. So there's a lot of question marks I have with Frio, and I'm just more confident in 8 other teams.
All right. My 12 through 9 starts with Gold Coast at number 12. All right, so the Gold Coast, in Took we trust.
In Took we trust.
And I really need him to turn up because he was my number one pick on fantasy, so I need that. But I do think Gold Coast is gonna. Right, AFL was doing everything they can to give Gold Coast a team, bro. So eventually everything's gonna click for them boys, and they're gonna get right. I did sleep on them a lot last year, and I think this is just a conscious decision not to sleep on Gold Coast because they do have a decent amount of talent on their side. And they won a lot of games I wasn't expecting them to win last year, and I expect them to do the same. I don't think they got any worse during the offseason.
Ben King, no.
They do. They got another shooter on their squad. That's just where they at, man. That's just where they at. Next, I got Port at the 11th spot. I do like a lot of the changes they made last year. They took my boy Junior from me, man. And somehow they kept Georgiades. I really don't know what's going on with that. If somebody can clarify, let me know, because I thought we were supposed to get Georgiades in that. But, yeah, last year Port just had a real slow start. I don't really expect them to have that same start this year, especially since they don't have to worry about fighting Collinwood over the prison bars. They already got that locked in for the showdown. So, Port, they got a lot more. I think they got a lot more talent in their forward position. Their midfield been straight. I just question them a little bit defensively, but that lands them right outside the 8. Well, at the 11th spot, don't mind. Next, we have a team, my second favorite team, don't mind, GWS. They're at my 10th spot. They're another team that just was really ass last year, really underwhelming, but I don't think they should have been. And I think they worked some shit out on the offseason. They went down from having 3 captains to having 1 sole captain. That's probably a good move for them guys. They had some time with their coach. They had all the coaching bullshit last year and had to restructure everything. So I really think this year everything's going to fall in line. Everything's going to be good for them. Well, not good enough because they're not in the 8. But they'll be a lot better than last year as well. And at my 9th spot, we have bitch ass Frio. Gladly falling right outside the 8. Crushing all the hopes and dreams of the Fremantle bandwagoners, because y'all just not them guys, and y'all won't be them guys.
Is the Optus purple this year?
Nah, the Optus gonna be blue and yellow all year. Come on, fuck them boys.
I got them boys losing on 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, I should have did like that too.
Oh shit!
All right, so. Getting to your 8, man. 8 through 5.
8 spot. Who snuck in by the skin of their ass? Who's better than Frio? Surprisingly, I have the grand final runner-up, the Sydney Swans, if you will.
Oh, wow.
Falling to the ace. Just think copy my shit. But I got Sydney with 13 wins, 9 losses. I think it'll be hard. You know, they say the teams who always go, it's hard for them to just replicate what they did last year. I think they will still be good. Buddy, you won't have him every game, so you just have to take that with a grain of salt. You won't have that, but you will have I would imagine you'll have some games with the Buddy magic, so you'll have that. I don't know. Some of the players are just inconsistent, bro. I don't know how much you'll get. We got to see what Isaac Heaney and Papley bring. I do believe, just like Donnie said, I do believe in the Chad Warner level up, bro. I believe. Because I liked what I seen last year. The first year we watched footy, I didn't notice him. The second year, I was like, damn, this guy's pretty good. And now I'm expecting him to move up to a star level, bro. And I think he is like a contested ball beast. He gets in there, does the dirty work, and he stands out. So I'm talking real positive, but I'm just not sure about Sydney's defending. And we just got to see how they do, bro. I just see a lot of potential in other teams, and I just don't think the road to the grand final will be as smooth for them the next year. So at 7, well, I guess I have them tied with Port for 7, 13-9 as well. Port, like you said, bro, I think they were really disappointed last year. They started slow, and I don't think they'll start slow at all. I think they'll actually turn it around a lot. At least I know Ken Hinckley hopes so for his own sake. But they have a lot of talent, bro. They got Jason Horn-Francis. They got the number 1 pick from last year, and they should benefit from that. I'm expecting Connor Rosie to give more consistent effort this year. He does have a lot of talent, but sometimes he just goes missing, bro, and you can't have that. Charlie Dixon, see a good year for him. Still got Georgiades, like you said, added junior. They got a lot of potential there, bro, and we can't have Lear doing this goofy ass shit, bro, that sells the team sometimes, bro. So if he's all Australian like he was the year before, bro, like there's no reason Port shouldn't be in 8. I think they can even really be higher than 7, but I'm gonna feel comfortable having them there. At 6, I have Western Bulldogs for 14-8. This is a team I really don't know how to feel about, to be honest. I can see them dropping lower. I can see them, or them even really staying where they at. I don't think they'll be higher. But they lost Dunkley. I think that'll be a big loss. Granted, they do have a good midfield, but at the end of the day, they have to rely on a lot more on Bont, a lot more on Bailey Smith, a lot more on Chalora, a lot more on a lot of the other mids, you know what I mean, to hold up the reputation of the midfield that they are, the great midfield that they are in the competition. Got to see how Josh Bruce is going to perform, bro. There's a lot of see how Naughton fits in with all them boys. Like, you know, Naughton was really the sole forward there. Now you got, I'm expecting Ugo Hagen to make a leap. I'm expecting Darcy. I don't know if he's going to be in forward or in the back, but if he does play forward, you know, they just got to figure that out, bro, with all these crowding forward line. Waitman looked to fall off in the middle of last year, so there are some question marks, but off potential, I do think that they'll be pretty good. Liam Jones was looking good in the preseason, bro. They got him, and he does make his bonehead kicks, but he's intercept mark damn near 90% of the time, bro. He wins his one-on-one matchup, so I think they'll do pretty good. As long as the defense can hold up, bro. And at the 5 spot, I have Richmond, also tied actually, 14-8. And Richmond just fits the profile, bro. The pressure's crazy with Richmond every time. We all know how it is, bro. Shea Bolton, star-studded power, bro. They got the talent there at Richmond, bro. As long as the midfield performs good and can win in the clearance, bro, Richmond can perform, bro. They can do it, bro. They show time and time again, bro. When they win, they can win big, bro, and it shows in their play sometimes. So I have them falling just short of the top 4.
All right, so my top 8 starts off with Sydney at number 8 as well.
He copied me.
After their disappointing game in the grand finals last year, I realized they might have got a little lucky. All right, so they're a team. I've been talking about a lot of teams where I like their young talent and what they can do in a few years. Sydney's young guys, I think, are at that point that I'm talking about other teams getting to, where young guys are really talented now. They can win games by themselves without the veteran presence, in my opinion. So I do think they are a good team. But at the same time, they are still not so consistent at times. I think once Buddy stops playing, they're actually going to get better. I think too many games they just tried to feed Buddy or relied on him when he just not what he used to be. So I can really only see them getting. I see them getting better, but at the same time, I see them not winning as many games, just trying to find their identity, I guess, if that makes any sense. Anyways, moving on. Number 7, we got your boys, Carlton. Carlton, talent's there, coach is there, midfield is definitely there.
Sound like we them boys.
I don't know why y'all missed the last year.
You wearing the blue, bro. Look at that.
I am, bro.
You wearing them Carlton boys? Yes, sir.
But I if y'all don't make it this year, I would be very disappointed. I'll be disappointed for you for sure because there's no reason on paper for y'all not to make him have the fucking MVP and the Coleman and still didn't make it so right. Y'all didn't get no worse either. So hopefully this is y'all year. I got y'all on 7 because I'm not that confident. But
I'm not mad at that at all.
Yeah, y'all at 7. At 6 we got Western Bulldogs.
You copy me, dog? What's their record? Never mind.
Western Bulldogs, so I really like their midfield. I really don't give it all. Like, I'm trying not to say the same thing for every fucking team, but I mean, it's really just the Dogs midfield that I think is really competitive and can keep them in games regardless. They got good mark targets in the forward. Their defense is straight, questionable sometimes, but I think they have enough to make it to the finals. Yeah, that's it. At 5, we got the Pies, the Magpies, bruh. Their defensive pressure is something that I was very impressed with last year, bruh. I was definitely sleeping on them a lot last year. They were on a crazy win streak by barely winning games. I think those gaps are going to be a lot bigger this year. I think they got the talent, bro. Even though they got a little coke problem going on with your boy Guinea Pig, but other than that, the Pies are another young team that's showing their young talent. That's getting to that point where they can compete for real, and they pressure's crazy. So that's why they at 5, man. Back to you, Bob, for your top 4.
You know what's funny real quick? See the North is favorites against you?
Yeah, no. Niggas tweaking.
Alright. Top 4. Alright, top 4, man. Actually, it's crazy because they're actually tied with 3, 4, 5, and 6 all have the same record. 14 and 8. So I actually have the reigning premiership winners. Premiers. Geelong, if you will. Geelong, man, it really was a great year for them, man. But them boys a little old, man. Another year aging. We'll see how that takes them, bro. It's a grueling season. You got 22 games, man. That's a lot of games to play, bro, when you put your body on the line. And I don't know, man. You lost your captains in Selwood. And you just got to see how shit goes. I don't think everything will work as magical as it did last year. I think they'll still be good, but I think they will drop some games that they wouldn't have dropped last year. And so I'm having them finish at 14 and 8. Also with 14 and 8, I'm gonna have Cotton. And we're about to get this shit done, bro. We're about to get all our kinks out the way, man. We're about to get them all unclogged, and we're about to have a great season, bro. Carlton, we're supposed to be here, bro. We're supposed to be in the top 4. We're supposed to be in the top 8 guaranteed. And it might be bold, bro, but they say some teams, 3 teams drop in, 3 teams drop out. And I didn't make my ladder with that in mind, but that's exactly how it worked out. So I'm confident in this. And we'll be that 3rd team jumping in, bro. 14 and 8. We'll win a lot of the games that we should have won last year. We won 8 games out of 10 and 11 last year in the first half of the season, bro. So we're capable of doing it. We just gotta be consistent and play. And we were hampered by injuries at key positions, at the ruck, at the midfield, at back line at the end of the day. So I think we'll get a little bit more luck from the injury bug this year. I think we'll figure out some shit, and I think we'll perform at a higher level. We'll be a little bit more clean with the ball. We were doing all this just by being bullies, kind of, bro. We're not the most skilled team at all. I think we'll pick up a little bit more pace, we'll be faster, and we'll be more skilled team, and that will all translate, bro. In a year of another coach. Well, another year of coaching, bro. This will be a 2nd year, so that'll be great. At the 2nd spot, I have Brisbane, 17 and 5. Brisbane, they added a lot with Dunkley in the midfield, bro. And the midfield was already dangerous, and now they got that now. So it's just adds a lot of crazy shit that they got going on. They added Gunston as well too to already crazy forward line. They lost McStay but got Gunston, and I think that's still a great pickup for them. Brisbane just has to defend better, bro. They get away by out-offensing you, if you will. They'll outscore you all day, and at the end of the day, they really don't care too much about defending, bro. So you'll see some games that they'll drop, and they'll get blown out pretty bad, bro. All because of discipline, I think. So that'll be the key for me to see in Brisbane. Is the team still gelling together? Are y'all defending? And is the offense still as high power as it's supposed to be? Is Danaher still doing dumb shit? But yeah, so I have them losing 5 games, and at the number 1 spot winning the minor premiership, I have Melbourne winning first at 19-3. I just think Oliver looked like a different level, bro. From what I've seen, he looks like he's fast now, bro. Like he's really ridiculous, bro. He looked like he's trying to cement himself as he's like, Petrarca, we cool, bro, but I'm the best one, bro. It looked like that's what he's trying to say with his play, bro. And so I want to see if that's what it translates in the season. Melbourne has a tendency to play down to the competition. Y'all seen them win the premiership. Our first year we started following footy, so we know what they're capable of, and I like to think that they got better. They do start the season with a little injuries, so if they do drop some, maybe in the beginning, but I think when they become a well-oiled machine, it's hard to stop Melbourne, bro, from the pressure. And even doing it without the best forwards in the league, bro. But they make them look like the best forwards, bro, how the midfield delivers. So if they're defending the way that they're supposed to defend and the way we've seen them, bro, Melbourne's going to win the premiership, in my opinion. So, yep.
So, my top 4. First off, we got Geelong at number 4. I just think they're always.
Don't copy me, bro.
They're just always a team that competes. They did lose Selwood. I think that's gonna hurt them a decent amount, but at the same time, they still got a lot of veteran experience. A lot of people that know what to do and what to expect. So I just think their veteran is their experience, don't mind, will keep them competitive as long as they got experienced players there, which they do a really good job at drafting. They're still getting high picks in the draft, so I think Geelong is just going to always be one of those staples in the finals, although I would love to see them fall out. Number 3, I got Richmond. So Richmond, they're another team that's just crazy defensive, crazy fast, can take advantage of any mistake that opposing team makes. So that's always just a dangerous situation. You can never get comfortable with Richmond. I think they're just going to stay competitive, stay hungry, and stay aggressive. Number 2, I got Melbourne. And said Clayton Oliver is looking crazy as shit. Petrarca is still going to be Petrarca. They just one of the best well-rounded teams in the league, and it still remains that way. So I definitely see them competing. And I think they were a little too comfortable last year, losing some games they definitely should have won. And I don't think they'll make that mistake again this year. I think they're going to play every game like it matters. They should at least. If not, they're dumb as fuck. But
they had a Grundy too.
Yeah, and they got another Grundy. So I definitely see them being even more competitive than they were last year. But I can also say the same for my number 1 team, the Brisbane Lions, bro. I thought they should have won it last year, and they fell short in just a tad. But I think falling short just makes you a little bit more hungry. All their talent's still there. They also got some more pieces, so I definitely expect them to be a little more competitive this year. And with that, should land them in that number 1 spot to be minor premiers, Brisbane Lions. Yeah.
I noticed with yours, my competition overview looks as more tight than yours. The top team is going to be better, and the worst team is going to be worse than yours than mine.
Yeah.
North ain't win no games.
That's probably realistic, but still. Matter of fact, who you think gonna get Coleman now?
Coleman?
Yeah, Coleman.
Coleman. That's crazy, bro. If I had to pick, man, I would like to say. I wouldn't be surprised if Tom Lynch won Coleman. I could see Tom Lynch. I don't think it'll be Harry or Charlie. I don't think it'll be from us. I will say I probably would just have to go Tom Lynch, man. Honestly.
All right, for me, I think I'm gonna give it to Jessup, bro. I think Jeremy Cameron is gonna really turn up this year and just go crazy with goals. Simple as that, bro. He turned up last year, and I think he's going to be even more of an option to look at this year with another year on the team, just being around them guys. So I think, yeah, man. Jezza. All right. So last thing we're going to talk about is our round one prediction, man. So starting off, man, you got your game in a few hours by the time this video goes up. Probably right before the game, man. So, what you think?
I got Carlton winning, man. Of course, who fucking knows, man? Everybody knows I'm picking Carlton, especially since we broke the curse last year, man. I mean, we're about to start the season strong again, bro. Granted, we are down some boys, but Richmond's a little beat up too, so I think we'll be able to get it done as long as we got Crippa and. As long as we got a couple of our pieces in our midfield and we perform, bro, and I am worried about us defending, though, bro. Especially, preseason, you take it with a grain of salt, but we were getting fucked up in preseason, bro. Damn State looked like the GOAT, bro. Collingwood against us, and then Sydney fucked us up in general, bro. So I am worried about our defense, but Tom Lynch might have a field day on us, no cap. But I do think we'll win, bro. We'll have a field day on them as well, man. So I have Carlton winning that game.
Alright, so I'm going to have to go against you on that one. I think Richmond is going to win that game. I do think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to come down to the last quarter for sure. But I think Richmond's pressure is just going to be a little overwhelming. And I just trust Richmond to get 6 points more frequently than Carlton. Put it simply.
No.
All right, next game we got Geelong versus Collingwood. What you think about that one?
Well, Carlton wins and Collingwood loses, man. So Geelong's beating Collingwood at the MCG, man. Geelong's gonna start the season out 1-0. Defending champs. They ain't about to go out like that. They whooped the team's ass when Sydney lost. Sydney's the team that put Collingwood out. So it's just levels to this shit, man. Collingwood ain't quite ready. And the major statistics, I think Geelong's defense is a bit too strong, and the forward line from Collingwood isn't just going to be good enough to get through Geelong's defense. I think they'll strangle them and they'll squeeze them, and it might not even be particularly close, to be honest. I think Geelong will win this one comfortably by at least 20 points.
All right, so I'm going to agree with you on that one. I think Geelong is going to win this game too. I think this is going to shut up a lot of people last year that thought Collingwood should have made it to the grand finals instead of Sydney. We get to see this match, and I think Geelong is gonna whoop their ass. Maybe not as bad as they whooped Sydney ass, but I still think it's gonna be a convincing win for Geelong.
Of course.
All right, next game we got North versus West Coast Eagles.
All right, I'm actually gonna go with the underdogs this game, man. West Coast Eagles are the underdogs. That looked over crazy. Well, so you go with North? Nah, I'm going West Coast, bro. I think West Coast won't be as shit as they were last year, bro. I don't think so, bro. I think they'll be at least, how many games y'all won last year? You know off the top of your head? I think they'll win at least 4 more games than they did last year, bro.
I think we won 3 last year.
All right, I think they can win 4 more games. North just don't give me any confidence, bro. Them boys are ass at the end of the day, and it really is speaking more to what North is than West Coast is. And without a tough ass draw to start, I don't think West Coast will have too much trouble with this team, man. It might be close or maybe competitive for like maybe a short amount of time of the game, but I don't think it'll remain that way. West Coast.
All right. I also got West Coast all day, every day, man. North has been wooden spoon as long as I know them, and I'll be damned if we goddamn get our ass whooped to them. So Simple as that. West Coast all day, every day. Fuck you talking about. Next game, we got Port versus Brisbane. What you think?
At Adelaide Oval, it's kind of tough, but I will go with Brisbane. I think this might actually be a good game. I'm expecting Port to make this a competitive game. Granted, we all expect Brisbane to be pretty good, to even be flag contenders at Adelaide. Port, not so much. But I do expect Port to keep this game competitive. If not, then I'm already about to be looking funny at these boys. But I'm going to take Brisbane, but I think they're the more complete team. I think they both do have strengths in forward, back, and in the mids. But Port just hasn't played to their standard against the tough teams that I think they're supposed to. So I'm going to go Brisbane on the road.
Yep, I'm going to agree with you on that as well. I do think Brisbane is the better team going into this. I am interested to see what's going to come out of Port. I think they're one of the teams that's made probably the most changes in the offseason, so I'm real curious on what they're going to be like, and I'm glad they're going against a team like Brisbane the first game, so we get to – they're going to have to pull out everything they can do to beat Brisbane, in my opinion. I think they're just going to fall a little bit short on Saturday, so I got Brisbane winning.
Brisbane.
Next game, we got Melbourne versus the Dogs.
Rematch of the grind final 2 years ago. I'm going to go Melbourne. The favorites in this matchup. And I think their midfield is better than the Dogs, and that's where the Dogs' strength is at. So I think if they're winning, if they're beating them in their own strengths, I don't think Bulldogs really can even compete. Melbourne's just going to get it together with the pressure and with their defense at the end of the day. And I think they'll win probably by like 20 points.
So I also agree with you on that one.
What copy?
Melbourne is just the better team. They got Oliver and Petrarca and Dunkley. I'm trying to fuck. I definitely meant to say that last shit. But anyways, they. Damn. That's funny as fuck. It's funny how you corrected it. but yeah, they got Oliver and Petrarca and Grundy is what I meant to say with that one. And Max gone, so bro, their midfield is just crazy as shit. I don't think the Dogs have enough to really compete with that. So yeah, I'm just leaning towards Melbourne for sure. Next game we got Suns versus Sydney.
I got Sydney. All right. I got Sydney winning this game. I know Gold Coast tends to start the game strong, start the season strong. Inherited Bank Stadium. I'm guessing this is Gold Coast home, but I think Sydney's just clear-cut better team than Gold Coast. It might take Gold Coast a little bit to work into getting Ben King back into the swing of things. I know he's going to be the lead forward, the main guy that they're going to have to rely on when they do win games. I think Sydney's a little bit too much for him, especially in the midfield. I think it's Took and there's a couple boys in the Gold Coast midfield, but not enough, bro. I think clear cut Sydney.
Once again, we agree. Sydney, like you said, is just a better team. I'm excited for this game, low key too. But Sydney's just all around the more put together team, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
So for the Sunday matches, first game on Sunday we had GWS versus Adelaide. Who you got?
I think this could be a good game, but it also could be a shit game as well. Both teams could be entertaining. I got GWS winning this game, considering they're at home. But I think I got both of these teams finishing on the ladder in similar positions. GWS at 11 and Adelaide on 12. But I don't know. This was kind of just like a free pick, bro. I think both of them. It's really a toss-up, bro. And I don't have much to go off considering we ain't seen much of the season yet. So I'm just gonna go GWS at home.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna also have to agree with you on that game as well, bro. Been agreeing on every fucking game. But yeah, I do think GWS is gonna win this game, but I think it is gonna be a very entertaining game. I think this is gonna be one of the best games around, honestly. Two just very entertaining teams. So I got GWS winning this. It is the game I'm looking forward to the most this week, I think, though. Next game, we got Hawks versus Essendon, battle of the shit teams. I don't know where you got them boys.
Shit?
Yeah. Battle of the shit teams, what you think about it?
But I think Hawthorne will be better than them this year, bro. Essendon got the baby ass midfield, them boys ass. But I will say, was it our first season we watched it, bro? When had a game winning goal on the siren or some shit like that? Essendon and Hawks sometimes can produce some entertaining games. So,
yeah, for sure.
And I'm actually surprised to see the Hawks are the underdogs on this, but I will take them at the MCG. I just don't believe too much in Essendon, man. Like I said, they have to rely on a lot of their upgrades from a young talent to be good this year. They're starting the season without Jake Stringer. And they're really one-dimensional with 2-meter Peter up forward, bro. So it'll be interesting to see what the hell they decide to do later on in the season, man. But nah, I don't really see it. So Hawthorne. I like Hawthorne, bro.
I'm also going with Hawthorne. Yeah, Hawthorne is really just Essendon's that bad. It's not even Hawthorne is that good. It's Essendon's that bad. And Hawthorne is a little more healthy than they were last year, and Essendon is going into this game with some injuries, so Hawthorne wins. Last game of the round, we got Saints versus Frio. Bitch ass.
The two teams that are inconsistent as fuck kicking in front of goal.
Yep.
But I'm taking Frio, bro. Frio's more put together, bro. For the midfield, bro, the defense is way better than the Saints, I like to think. Saints haven't shown me that crazy pressure that they showed against y'all that one game. And they don't really show that, bro. And I think Membry's is a little sore to begin the season, and Max King is real inconsistent in front of goal. He's a great mark target, yes. But assuming that he's healthy and that he'll be there and he'll be accurate kicking goals, I'm not sure if he'll be able to kick those, man. He misses a lot. He's got a lot to figure out, and he just got to work on his mechanics, I think. So, Frio just more put together, bro. They got a bunch of little small forwards that are little cheeky little small forwards that can bring some shit, and they got a plethora of them. So, a lot more weapons at their disposal, and they added some more pieces. So, Frio.
Unfortunately, I have to agree. Yeah, Frio's just an overall better team than the Saints. Saints, like you said, are just inconsistent. I think the Saints forwards are their best position, and them niggas don't even be on shit most of the time. So, yeah, Frio finishes the round with a win.
And so you might as well switch, because Carlton's the only one you disagreed on, bro. You might as well go Richmond, bro. Yes.
Nah, that is crazy. But, yeah, we back, man. Tried to make this video short, still turned out to be long, goddamn, but here we are. Like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube shit. Join the tipping comp. And check out our live, man. It might be on right now when you're viewing this. If not, I don't know, man. Catch y'all later, though, God. I'm about to fucking stop the video on the laptop. But all right, y'all. Yeah.